Let me ask you something. Why is it that the same woman who feels intense chemistry with you on one date can suddenly pull away the next? Why does one woman lean in when things get close, while another runs the moment it feels real? Most men think it's about them. They assume, maybe I wasn't attractive enough. Maybe I said the wrong thing. Maybe she just lost interest. But here's the truth. It's not always about you. It's about what's happening inside her brain. When a woman falls in love, her body doesn't just feel emotions. Her brain floods with chemicals. Dopamine, oxytocin, hormones that literally change the way she thinks, remembers, and reacts. But here's the catch. Those chemicals alone don't decide if love lasts. Her attachment style, the hidden filter built from years of experience, decides whether she bonds, clings, or runs away. If you've ever been confused by mixed signals, by sudden shifts in behavior, or by the feeling that attraction should have turned into love, but didn't, this video will finally make it clear. So stick with me. By the end, you'll understand not just how women fall in love, but how to spot the difference between short-term chemistry and real, lasting connection. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's dive in. Part 1. The gender gap in love. You know what's fascinating? When a woman starts to fall in love, her brain reacts very differently from a man's. A 2021 study in the Journal of Neuroscience revealed that during the early stages of attraction, women experience dopamine spikes 25% higher than men. Think about that for a second. For her, those first few conversations, the anticipation of your next text, or even a casual touch, all feel magnified, like turning up the volume on every emotional signal. Meanwhile, men, we're wired differently. Testosterone drives us hard toward physical desire, that initial rush of lust. For women, though, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, takes the lead. It's less about the body and more about safety, connection, and trust. And here's where the misalignment begins. Men often rush into intimacy, thinking passion is the proof of love. But women's biology isn't just asking for passion, it's asking for security. For her, love isn't only chemistry, it's whether she feels safe to let those chemicals become connection. This gap explains why so many men misread the signals. You might think she's holding back, when in reality, she's waiting to see if your presence brings comfort, not just desire. So the question is, are you creating a moment of safety, or just chasing the spark? Part 2. Attachment styles decide everything. Here's the truth most men never hear. Two women can feel the exact same chemistry with you, but react in completely opposite ways. Why? Because of something called attachment styles, the invisible filter shaping how her brain interprets love. A secure woman? She's balanced. She can enjoy closeness without clinging, and give space without pulling away. Dating her feels natural, steady, almost effortless. But an anxious woman? The dopamine spikes hit her like a drug. She needs constant reassurance, constant texting, constant proof that you're not going to disappear. One unanswered message, and she spirals. Then there's the dismissive type. She feels the same rush of dopamine you do, but her brain codes intimacy as a threat. The closer you get, the more she pulls away. Not because she doesn't like you, but because connection feels like losing control. And the most unstable of all, the fearful avoidant. She craves love desperately, yet panics when it arrives. One moment she's holding on tight, the next she's gone. This is why you must stop judging women only by the chemistry. Chemistry lights the fire, but attachment style decides whether that fire warms your life or burns it down. Part 3. The 3 biological stages of love. Falling in love isn't random. It's biology. Your brain, and hers, moves through 3 very distinct stages. Miss the sequence, and you'll misread everything. Stage 1 is lust. Driven by testosterone in men and estrogen in women, it's purely physical. That first spark of desire is nature's way of pushing reproduction forward. But here's the catch. It's shallow by design. Stage 2 is attraction. This is where things get intense. Dopamine and norepinephrine flood her brain, making her hyper-focused on you. That's why she remembers your scent, the way you laugh, or even small details you've long forgotten. A 2021 study showed women experience dopamine spikes 25% higher than men during this stage. That's why one text from you can feel like an adrenaline rush to her system. But stage 3 is where many men mess up attachment. This is when oxytocin, the bonding hormone, kicks in. But here's the warning. If intimacy happens too fast, oxytocin fires before her emotions are ready. Instead of bonding, it feels unnatural, and she may suddenly pull away. So remember, lust creates desire, attraction creates obsession, but attachment decides whether love lasts. If you don't respect this timing, you risk losing her before the story ever begins. Part 4. Real-life signs of attachment. Now let's make this real, because theory means nothing if you can't spot it in action. Picture this. You give two women the exact same gift, a simple bouquet of roses. The anxious woman, she frames the memory. She texts you all night about how special you made her feel. She's already imagining a future together. But the dismissive woman, she might leave those roses on the doorstep and then vanish for days. The same gesture, two completely opposite reactions. It's not the gift that matters. It's the filter. Anxious attachment turns dopamine into an addiction. She needs constant replies, constant attention. If you delay your response, her brain panics, searching for reassurance. Dismissive attachment does the opposite. She feels the same chemical surge, but codes closeness as suffocating. For her, intimacy is a loss of freedom, so she pulls away to breathe. And the fearful type, she swings like a pendulum, clinging one moment, gone the next. Her heart wants connection, but her nervous system is wired for retreat. Here's the wake-up call. Most men misinterpret these signals. They think clinginess equals deep love, or withdrawal equals rejection. Wrong. It's biology plus attachment. And if you don't recognize the pattern, you'll chase ghosts, or run from someone who actually cares. Part 5. The hidden influence of culture and society. Love doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's not just about hormones or psychology. It's also about the world she lives in. Think about this. In some cultures, women are encouraged to express affection openly, to dive into romance without fear. In others, they're taught to hold back, to keep emotions private, to be cautious. The same woman, in a different environment, might love in a completely different way. And it's not only culture. Family and friends play a huge role too. A woman may feel deep chemistry with you, but if her circle disapproves, if her parents, her friends, her social world push back, that bond can collapse under the weight of pressure. Many relationships that felt perfect at first die quietly because they couldn't survive the social context. Here's what most men miss. She isn't just falling in love with you. She's also negotiating with the expectations around her. Her brain might crave connection, but her environment decides whether that connection can grow or wither. So before you assume she's pulling away because she lost interest, ask yourself, is it really about you? Or is it about the invisible weight of culture, family, and society pressing against the relationship? That's the layer of love most men never see until it's too late. Part 6. The power of secure attachment. If you've ever dated a secure woman, you know it feels different. There's no guessing, no mixed signals, no walking on eggshells. Why? Because her brain processes love in balance, not through fear, not through desperation. Research shows about 60% of women fall into this secure category, and science explains why they stand out. Unlike the anxious type, dopamine doesn't hijack their focus, it just adds excitement. Unlike the dismissive type, oxytocin doesn't feel like a trap, it feels like connection. fMRI scans even reveal something unique. Secure women activate both the emotional centers and the prefrontal cortex, the logic centers, when they fall in love. That means she can feel passion while still assessing compatibility with reason. So what does this look like in real life? If she likes you, she shows it, without smothering you. If plans change, she adapts, instead of spiraling. And when the time feels right, she talks about the relationship honestly, not out of fear, but out of clarity. Here's the wake-up call. Dating a secure woman forces you to step up. She won't tolerate games, excuses, or a man who hides from responsibility. Her stability creates space for love to grow naturally. but only if you're man enough to match it. So the question is, are you ready for real love? Or are you still chasing the chaos that feels exciting, but never lasts? Part 7. Lessons every man must learn. So what do we do with all of this? Because knowing the science means nothing if you don't apply it in real life. First, understand the biological stages. Lust, attraction, and attachment follow a sequence. If you rush intimacy too soon, you risk firing oxytocin before she's emotionally ready, and she'll pull away. Timing matters more than you think. Second, recognize attachment styles. An anxious woman isn't crazy for texting too much. Her brain is wired to seek reassurance. A dismissive woman isn't rejecting you. She's protecting her independence. When you see the pattern, you stop taking it personally. Third, adjust your approach. With anxious types, consistency is key. Be predictable, keep your word, and her nervous system calms down. With dismissive types, give space. Let her breathe, so intimacy doesn't feel like a cage. And when you meet a secure woman, value her, because she's the one who balances passion with reality. Here's the wake-up call. No amount of strategy will fix someone's extreme insecurity. Sometimes the strongest move isn't to chase harder, but to walk away. Chemistry might spark attraction, but attachment decides the future. The real question isn't, does she like me? It's, does her wiring and mine allow this love to last? At the end of the day, love isn't just about sparks. It's not about how fast your heart races, or how strong the chemistry feels in the moment, because chemistry fades. What lasts is compatibility, security, and the way two nervous systems learn to dance together. That's the truth most men never hear. You can chase the thrill of dopamine. You can drown in the chaos of anxious or avoidant patterns. Or you can step back, recognize the signs, and choose a path that actually leads to peace. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that pull toward a woman, don't just ask, do I want her? Ask, does this connection feel balanced? Does it have the foundation to grow? If the answer is no, have the courage to walk away. If the answer is yes, invest fully and build something that outlives the initial spark. Because the men who win in love aren't the ones who chase the hardest. They're the ones who choose the smartest. If this hit home for you, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more insights, and drop a comment below. What attachment style have you seen the most in your relationships?